So today we want to take a quick look at Flippa.com and if this is a legit platform to sell your business and if I would sell my online business on Flippa. Before we start, really important, you will find the link to Flippa down in the video description and it will directly take you to the right page, and at the same time you're helping me and my channel to grow. So if you decide to buy or sell your online business on Flippa, thank you a lot if you're using my link down in the video description. And now really quick, what is Flippa? So basically it's a platform where you can just list your business like Amazon for e-commerce products. It's just a platform for businesses you can buy, and they are mainly focused on digital business, so online businesses like website or SaaS business, software as a service, your e-commerce shop, Shopify shop, your Amazon shop, or if you have an app on Android or iOS, or if you want to sell your domain. So these are the most common assets you can sell on Flippa. So everything online business related is sold on Flippa, and they did over 100,000 online acquisitions globally. So that's very impressive. They did it in the US, in Canada, in Europe, in China, India, Japan, Korea, and so on. So pretty much everywhere, and even in Australia, they sold online businesses and help you to buy or sell your business. And it's quite simple. You just click on what you're interested, for example, Shopify, and then it will give you a list of people selling their Shopify stores, for example, here an e-commerce website in the home and garden niche. But since now this is a review, we want to talk about if the whole thing is legit and if I personally would sell my business on Flippa. The first thing I would do is actually to go on Trustpilot and see some reviews, which I did. So here you can see very short reviews. Flippa is a great platform, blah, blah, blah. And it has only one review. Second review, fast and easy, good information, 2 reviews. These are always, for example, Jason Gray, he did 1 review and is from Australia and it's very short. So I don't know, you be the judge of this, but I would say it's bought because he just has 1 review. Here, this guy has 3 reviews. Maybe it's legit because he just has more than 1 review. Here, this guy also has a picture, trusted platform with escrow service, great experience, safe and reliable. So these are all have 1 review. So I wouldn't trust the 5 stars review too much here, most of them. Here, this guy, for example, I would trust. He has 8 reviews and he has a verified user sign here, and he also says it's a great and experience selling my website there. So yeah, just go through the listings here. What I directly noticed that the star ratings are very high, either like 5 stars or very low. So this is a very common picture you have when people are either very happy or very unsatisfied with the service. So let's take a look at the 1-star reviews, what they say. He says, I would rather use Empire Flippers or Acquire in the headline. So I would also say this is fake because it's kind of an advertisement for Empire Flippers, and also just 1 review. So I don't really believe those guys. They might be just people trying to hurt Flippa. So let's see if we find a person who really has some reviews. Predator tactics. After I spent 30 minutes creating the listing to sell my website for 30 euros, I'm presented with a pricing screen and I'm forced to pick a package of at least $29. So I don't know. He seems like a guy who's very disappointed in services because he just needs to spend 30 euros and is already complaining. I don't think that this is too expensive. So let's check him out. But he also gives some positive reviews, but this one negative, negative, negative. So he's either full force, like 5 stars or 1 star. So yeah, I wouldn't put too much weight in this guy. Paid the advertising and never put my site online. Flippa is total crap. I cannot change photos there. Nobody replying. Scam website, breeding ground for scammers, avoid at all costs. So these are quite unspecific and not telling you the reason why. But let's see, I paid $900 for a Flippa's premium, which includes broker to handle the sales. My website, the broker assigned to me was on vacation in Australia. So yeah, I don't know. This is personal issues, but it doesn't harm the overall Flippa experience. So yeah, I wouldn't give too much about it. He says if this is quite long review, so I don't think it's fake. Flippa's cruel and unjust treatment, a warning to all sellers and buyers, a decade of trust shattered in seconds. After being a loyal and dedicated member on Flippa over 10 years, recorded, I was shocked and without a warning, explanation right in the middle, suspended. So his account got suspended, but this can have many reasons. Maybe he signed in from a different account or something. So as I went through, I read most of the reviews here for you guys, and yeah, it's always either scammers from people with 1 review or people with like personal issues, like the account was blocked or they spent some money and then one person was on vacation. Yeah, I wouldn't give too much about it, but feel free to go ahead and read about it. And it can be, of course, very tricky to sell your business because the amount a business is sold is usually in the hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. So of course this attracts scammers. But what I want to say is that you need to do your own due diligence, and you can always just go ahead and view the listing here. They will give you all the information. So for example, this guy is selling on Amazon, on Shopify. They will give you how old the page is, how much monthly profit they do, how many page views they have, and you can sign here an NDA disclosure, and then you will see the full picture of the business. Down here they will give you the SEO numbers from SEMrush. They will give you also the dashboards of Shopify and Amazon, and you will see the full picture, and you will also get the domain. And then you have to check everything yourself and get all the information you can from this guy, and then make your own judgment on that. So Flippa is just the platform, and they will either help you to broker the deal, so they give you some advisory and brokerage, and they also have a package where they help you even more. They do the payment and escrow service for you. So this is a secure payment. When you transact your first million to buy your business, then of course you need a safe and secure payment way, and they also help you with the legal documents, the merger and acquisition stuff. And of course, some people, if you don't buy the business with your own money, then you need some financing, and they will also help you to get a loan. And if anything goes south, they will also help you to get an insurance for the whole deal, and they will also help you with due diligence, the verification process, and the assessment. That's their offer. And of course, they have their own brokers here. So these are people helping you worldwide. So Amber Burke in the US, Alejandro Martin, probably in Europe, Spain, Ana Luisa Werner, probably in Germany, in Europe, but also in Australia and New Zealand, in Asia and US, and US again, Europe. So these are all the people. And this is a people business. Of course, maybe Amber is really nice and great, but Alejandro takes too many vacations. So of course, you can always have people issues with any kind of business, but it will help. Just schedule the call here and they will help you. And then you can see if you trust the person. They are put on this platform by Flippa to help you broker the deal. And Flippa does have a good track record. So over 100,000 online acquisitions globally were done with Flippa, and they do kind of their best to prevent any fraudulent experience here by giving you all the information. So for example, this shop is without an NDA agreement, and here you see videos on their YouTube channel. You can see the performance, the revenue numbers. You can see even QuickBooks, so their bookkeeping software, and see the profit and what they did in the last few months. And you can also see the performance data here on Shopify and Stripe. If you have for $50, you can get Flippa Premium, and then you can see this. But you can also see SEMrush here, which is an SEO service, and you see the domain authority, how many domains are referring to this site, and how many backlinks and how many keywords are on Google linking to their site. So that's quite nice, and it kind of gives you a good picture of what kind of business you're about to purchase here. You see the Facebook follower, the Instagram follower, and of course here you can also just go on Instagram and then check out what kind of followers they have. For example, they have over 2,600 content pieces, so it doesn't seem like a scam, but make sure you go through the followers and see if they are purchased or if they are people fitting the brand. For example, this is jewelry here and cars and kind of gothic style. When you take a look at the followers, you can see if they are into that kind of stuff. They will give you most information on the listing, but it always can be a scam in the end. That's the cost of doing business. Therefore, you can go on Flippa and choose the services they provide to help you broker the deal, to finance the deal, or to insure the whole deal. So yeah, I think Flippa is legit. They're on the internet for quite some time. They did some deals. Some might go south, but most of them I think will work. And if you want to start using it, you will find the link down in the video description. Thank you a lot if you're using it. You can also leave a comment here, leave a like if you want. I wish you all the best. But as said, you will find the business here, but then you need to do your own due diligence and find out if this is a legit business, because I think the Trustpilot reviews here, of course, everyone has its own journey here, and some of them had a good journey, like 64%, and 20% were upset, because it can be very scary to sell your own business. And if there are hidden costs somewhere, you of course get scared and very angry very fast. But it's a platform and it's quite known. There's Flippa.com and Acquire.com, which are the most common one to sell your online business. So go ahead, take a look. You can also take a look at Acquire.com, and wherever you find the business which interests you the most, then you can go ahead and just buy it via the platform or yourself. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next video. Good luck with your business.